Hello everyone, Berserkhead here and welcome to my series called Total War Mod Review, in which I review many different mods for the games of the Total War franchise. Today, I'll be taking a look at Roma Surrectum 2, which is a mod for Rome Total War. I'm going to review the advantages and disadvantages of the mod and give you my opinion about it. Let's start with the advantages. Okay, so first things first. The mod offers completely updated map with new settlements and different looks. The map is also expanded to the east and the north, and it is about as big as the map in Medieval 2. Then, the mod offers new factions with different names, different appearance, different units, and even custom banners. But this time, you'll not have factions such as the Gauls, the Germans, the Britons, and so on. Instead, you'll have to choose between different tribes. For example, if you want to play with a Gallic faction, you can choose the Arverni, or if you want to play as a Germanic faction, you can pick the Cimbri. There are a total number of 28 factions, only 3 of which are not playable. Every faction is completely unique and has its own campaign created specially for it. Which leads me to the next advantage. The victory conditions are rebalanced and they are now unique for every faction. This time, you'll have to take different number of settlements depending on the faction you use, and you will also have to control certain regions in order to win. But to conquer these settlements, you'll need an army. The mod offers completely new units that are once again unique for each faction, and you cannot find any of them in the vanilla version. These units will also look better because the mod offers high quality textures that are way better than the ones in the original Rome Total War. But it's not only that, the battles will now be more massive and will last much longer, which will make them much more realistic. Another thing that makes the campaign better is the fact that there is completely new economy, so now instead of building countless number of things, you have to emphasize on implementing different laws and taxes. This way, you have a better control over your settlements and you'll be able to do exactly what you want with them. These laws and taxes take one turn to take effect. They'll change either the happiness of the citizens or the amount of money generated by a certain settlement. But before you can do any of the things that I listed previously, you obviously have to start the game, which leads me to the fact that the mod has its own launcher. From this launcher, you'll have to choose the faction that you're gonna be playing as, and you can also customize some things such as the quality of the vegetation and buildings and the resolution that you prefer. And the last advantage of the mod that I want to mention is that it offers 28 different legions depending on where and when you recruit them. They represent real historical legions with their own distinctive names and appearance. But as much as I like the mod, I should mention some disadvantages. The first thing that I don't like about this mod is this bloom effect that it adds. Yeah, it makes the mod look unique and it adds a unique feeling when you play, but it makes things so much harder to see. If you use the dark bloom effect, I guarantee you that you won't be able to read any of the things that are written in the diplomacy screen. But there is good news. If you don't like the bloom effect, there is an option in the launcher that allows you to turn it off. The next disadvantage that I'm gonna talk about will be the launcher itself. I know that I already talked about it in the advantages, but as much as I'm a fan of mods that have their own launchers, this is definitely not the best I've seen so far. In my opinion, this launcher is kinda strange. I mean, you see all of these options and buttons, but none of them explain what they actually do, and every time you check something, the mod will want you to confirm that you really want this option. On top of that, I've noticed that some of the options will set once you close the game, and you have to check them every time you wanna play. And the last disadvantage, which I think is the biggest one, is the difficulty of the battles and the campaign itself. First, I really like the economy, but it takes some time to get used to, and I'm pretty sure a novice Total War player will not be able to figure it out completely at all. But it's not only that. I played this mod on medium difficulty and I hardly managed to take one settlement for the first 10 turns. I also remember that I struggled to win battles against equally powerful armies and my win-lose ratio wasn't as good as usual. Now that I'm done with the advantages and disadvantages, let's see what grade will Roma Surrectum 2 receive. I give this mod 7.5, which in my opinion is a very good grade. In overall, I really like the experience that the mod gives and the fact that everything is changed, rebalanced and completely different in a good way. But as much as I like the mod, I think that there were some good ideas that could have been implemented way better. The increased difficulty, in my opinion, is Roma Surrectum's biggest disadvantage because it might turn some beginner players off and the mod would be better in general if it was a little bit easier. Anyways, these were all the major advantages and disadvantages of Roma Surrectum 2. Hopefully after watching this video you'll be able to decide whether to download and install the mod or not. If you want to check it out, there is a link to the mods page in the Total War wiki, as well as a download link on the screen right now and in the description. My name is Berserkhead and I hope you liked the video. See you next time, goodbye.